Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Bruce Greene.
Get those Konami tears ready, everybody, because Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima is throwing shade every which way at the new Metal Gear game.
The company that scorned Kojima received a bit of verbal CQC from him at Tokyo Game Show, where he made some candid comments about his reaction to Metal Gear Survive, the co-op zombie alt-history sequel to Ground Zeroes.
And with good cause.
Kojima also offered a hint at a potential release date for Death Stranding, but it's way more interesting to talk about him shit-talking the new Metal Gear game first.
It's so much more exciting. Speaking at a Q&A event over the weekend, Kojima was asked by a fan about his involvement with Metal Gear Survive and whether or not it was a project that he had come up with prior to getting Fultoned out of Konami HQ.
According to comments translated by IGN, Kojima reportedly said, quote, "That's nothing to do with me," end quote. And from the sound of it, Kojima-san is not too big of a fan of zombies, just the actors who kill them, because he went on to say, quote, "The Metal Gear games are about political fiction and espionage. Where do zombies fit in with that?" End quote.
Right,
He's questioning the plot of Metal Gear.
That's the least reasonable thing that could have happened in this universe.
Oh, jeez. He also bemoaned the lack of mechs in Metal Gear Survive, talking about how they are a staple of the series.
Now, it should be noted that these comments were translated a little bit differently by others. The official Kojima Productions Twitter account live tweeted the comments from the actual Q&A, and they read a little bit differently through Google Translate than what IGN's published.
Japanese-focused site Silicon Era also took a stab at translating them. They read more or less the same as IGN's translation. However, they added an additional jab he took at the game by stating, quote, "A Metal Gear without a Metal Gear? That's the Famicom version."
Oh my god!
Boom!
The Famicom version.
Boom!
Oh! Right, so the game with zombies is too weird for the series that included vampires, electromagnetic women, firewells, Fultoning bears, possession via arm amputation, and not one but two snipers who use photosynthesis. Plus, there's the fact that pseudo-zombies were already sort of included in the Phantom Pain.
Oh, yeah. So, geez, they were corpse puppets controlled by nanomachines, all right? And plants use photosynthesis, too. It's science. It's all science,
Makes it all different.
Jeez.
All different. Sorry. Whether or not zombies in a Metal Gear game can be considered on brand, Kojima's reaction to Metal Gear Survive isn't all that different from the collective reaction of the internet when the game was first announced last month.
Yeah, Konami first unveiled Survive at Gamescom in August, revealing that it takes place immediately after the events of Ground Zeroes and pretends like Phantom Pain never happened. Survive reimagines Phantom Pain as a co-op zombie survival action game where all the characters have been sucked through a wormhole into an apocalyptic wasteland filled with The Walking Dead.
Maybe pretending it never happened is easier than just finishing that final act.
I guess so.
But if there's any franchise that could support a super crazy weird reboot at that level, it would be one created by Hideo Kojima.
That's valid, yeah, that's valid.
But Kojima-san wasn't the only one hating on Metal Gear Survive over the weekend. Oh no, there was more! Jeez. The game's newest appearance on YouTube isn't doing so well with fans either.
Are we just a gossip channel now? Actually?
Yes, we are. That's what we're gonna do. Isn't it exciting?
Konami put up a demo straight out of TGS this weekend, showcasing 15 minutes of players taking out zombies via cooperative play, setting sheep traps and Fultoning zombies through extra-dimensional portals. The other thing it's showcasing? The internet hate train.
In what can now be referred to as a Konami-esque dislike ratio. The new demo is currently sporting 16,000 dislikes to 1,000 likes at the time of writing on just over 400,000 views.
That's not good.
That's even worse than the ratio for the debut trailer for Metal Gear Survive, which sits at 100,000 dislikes to 20,000 likes, but it's not as bad as the Pachinko trailers.
Yeah, sure, why not?
There's that.
Oh man. So nobody is too keen on Konami's attempt at resurrecting Metal Gear without the series creator, but it's just a little bit surprising that Kojima is speaking out against the game so strongly, considering how tight-lipped he's been about his falling out with Konami. You know, besides posting pictures of himself drinking Konami tears on social media.
Well, maybe his contract only said he wasn't allowed to say bad things about the games he worked on.
So he could do whatever he
Metal Gear Survive
wanted.
was like, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
The closest he's come so far to criticizing them since he left would be, well, there were the lovely Kojima tears, or the Konami tears.
Yep.
There were the comments he made at the Develop Brighton conference a couple of months ago when discussing how he'd no longer have to compromise on his vision.
Sure.
Thanks to being his own boss and having better technology, courtesy of PlayStation 4 architect Mark Cerny.
Yeah, but can your precious bro Cerny make Death Stranding run at 4K natively? That's the real question.
But the pro can. But then maybe again.
Probably.
Maybe not.
No.
Kojima didn't talk about Death Stranding's resolution at TGS, but he did give us some brief new details about his next project and finally teased the game's release window and praised Big Boss It's actually happening this decade,
This-
which
oh,
I
wow.
don't think anyone thought
This
was actually
decade.
going to happen.
Speaking at the same Q&A, Kojima said, quote, "It will be out before the Olympics." So,
Yeah!
Nice job. To go a little further, there is a movie called Akira, and it will be out before the year in which Akira is set.
Well,
End
Akira
quote.
is set in 2019, so
Okay.
before 2019.
Why is
sounds
it always like a word problem with him?
He just wants you to think through things, you know,
Jeez.
analyze,
Okay.
be thoughtful.
Yeah, sure.
So we're looking probably 2018, given that Akira is 2019,
yeah.
which is sooner than most people were probably expecting the game, since development just recently started in earnest, and it is a Kojima game.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Of course, that 2018 window might not be accounting at all for Kojima time,
Right.
Which could drastically increase those projections. And that's not even factoring in PlayStation time, considering all the problems they've had with keeping exclusives on track recently.
Like, if we're looking at a Q4 2018 release, that'd give Kojima Productions a little over 2 years from now to work on the game.
Okay.
It'd be a little bit of a shorter development cycle than he's used to. Metal Gear Solid 5, in conjunction with the Fox engine, was in development for 4 to 5 years before Phantom Pain released.
That's right. As for other details about the game, Kojima also teased a female protagonist to join Norman Reedus. She hasn't been cast just yet, but he did ask on Twitter who they should get to play her.
And will she end up naked in a trailer?
Probably.
All things considered, this probably isn't the last we'll hear out of the whole Kojima versus Konami saga, especially with a new Metal Gear game on the horizon and Kojima's new project as well. There's no date for Metal Gear Survive just yet, but we do know it'll be releasing sometime in 2017.
In a more perfect poetic world, Survive would get delayed and be pitted directly against Kojima's new game. Now that would be cause for some Konami tears.
And don't we love those? More.
Why does everybody hate Konami so much?
Look, they're really hydrating. Okay, so what do you guys think of Kojima dissing Metal Gear Survive over the weekend? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, for more updates on Konami tiers, remember to like this video and subscribe to The Know, the channel you are watching currently.
That's this one.
Yeah.
Here, watch this. Ready?
Oh my gosh, you're so short!
I'm off my box!
All right.